Welcome back, Five Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, Five Aces here. Welcome to Fazzar Friday. It's not actually Friday, but we're gonna speedrun this shit. This is basically me clearing the Fazzar backlogs. And this time around, he's going up against Sigil, who has clinged on to Masters for this season. He has clung on and been a brave warrior. He has taken a bruising. I know the relegation matches I played against him last time. It's been kind of tough, but yeah, he's still a good solid player. And I'm happy to report that he's gonna have his color scheme back, because that's a big important change. The color picker is gonna have more saturated colors yet again in the new release. So back to dark Sigil it is, because that's like vanilla chocolate chai pumpkin spice latte Sigil right there in terms of colors. And he is going to have his work cut out for him, because he's going up against Fazzar X, aka Fazzar, who has been tearing up the competitive scene. People have pointed out why every now and then there's a newcomer just blazing through the scene, and it's because the old guard lose interest. I kind of agree with that assessment, but at the same rate, some of the old players just, they don't decrease, their skill doesn't decrease really. So the real issue, I feel, is that there is a lack of competitive practice. Even if you look at the not the RGL scoreboard, but the ladder, the OpenRA ladder, it's kind of barren at the moment. Not too many games being played, and sure, RTS is like riding a bike, but if your bike has its training wheels fallen off, then yeah, it's gonna be tough. Engineer trying to skirt away. Going for the hospital, I guess. No, just being parked in a random corner in the middle of nowhere. What's the map? It's Yukon territory. Yeah, we've discussed this before. This is either the US or Canada, because there's been a heated debate going on about that. And I was unaware that there's actually a territory in Canada that's called that. Okay, double refinery, nothing too special. Sigil a little behind on the War Factory. That must be just, the APM. And it appears to be the case that Fazzar is playing very infantry-centric early on, and I've seen him push with just random stragglers, random dispatches of infantry, without much armor support. But if you've got an overwhelming mass, then you're good. You're good to go. Lots of rockets, some medics as well. I think he's playing random, because I see him play both Allies and Soviets. Not that it makes the biggest distinction, but it is still something to consider. If you're up against Soviets, prepare for grand rushes and dogs. And if you're up against Allies, there's not so much potential for cheese. Soviets just have more early game cheese potential. Then in the early to mid game, the light vehicles from the Allies can come online, and they provide a much stronger power point, I feel. Like a point of power than the Mobile Flag and the APC do. Unless you go for an all-out APC, mass APC crushing strategy. The light tank rules supreme in those engagements, and the Ranger is just amazing and an excellent unit for line of sight support. Then the mid game, I would say it's a skill thing, it's a skill issue. But personally, I favor Soviets in the mid game, because, heavy tanks are just so much punchier. They can just dish out so much damage to armor, and as a result, they're really good at armor hunts, or harvester hunts. And I really, really like the V2 Yak combo. It is higher skill ceiling and higher skill floor as well, but the results it can potentially yield, I feel, are higher than just Blackhawks, because Blackhawks are now easily shut down, especially if the opponent builds a couple of mobile flags. Then in the late game, that's hard to call. Mammoth tanks are not that efficient, bang for buck. But what you can do, obviously, with Mammoth tanks is just poke away from range and let them heal up. So they do have the merits. And obviously, Allied late game tech is kind of a wild mixed bag. So Sigil is positioning himself on the right-hand side, let's see. And he is obviously going for his MCV up north as well. It's kind of unscreened, but at least he's got an army in the close proximity. Do not send your rockets in first. It's so expensive. In comes Fazzar. Just taking down the Lyric, that's fine. I like how Sigil is using the mobile flag just to screen. What are those guys doing? Oh, he's sending a random dispatch up north. And it hasn't been scouted just yet, but it will be scouted by the MCV maybe. No! Okay, so this is actually gonna get into the ore lines. That's cool. That is a neat little trick, but it's only got 2 rockets, so that's easy to shut down. Gatekeeper build actually for Fazzar X. That's his original MCV, and the other MCV is on the bottom side, so he's going super greedy. So unless Sigil stops this anytime in the next 5 minutes, he's gonna be at a heavy disadvantage. That is gonna be tough. We've talked about establishing a line of vision. Ideally on the other side of the map, not on your half of the map, and that's not what's happening here. Sigil is going in kind of blind, so not the best prerequisites here. Uh-oh. He's gonna be fighting into a base very, very soon. He does not know about this yet. Sigil is consolidating his armies, but he just has less army mass overall, I feel. No, fairly close. Fairly close, actually. Okay. The engagement is starting, and Sigil is being trapped up by his own structure. That's bad. That's really bad. Plus, he has just invested into flamethrowers, and those do not help here at all. Yikes! Yet another decisive push, and the turrets are starting to hammer at the flame tower. Held away at that thing. Oh, really bad mistake with the MCV. So 0 expansions versus 2 it is now. Flamers can do a number here, so that's at least a nice little barbecue. Nice showcase. Yeah, heal those burns. Get to the burn board, medics. Flamers notoriously bad on chase, but it doesn't matter. This army is gonna get pushed out. At least he has retained his ore trucks. So the equilines are still stable on this side of the map, not on the other side. On the other side, he has lost at least 1 harvester and is about to lose a refinery. Yet again, consolidating his army is Fazzar. He is someone, it feels a bit like the style that was played by Gatekeeper and Bane, I guess, where you just don't let off the pressure. You just constantly push, you constantly pressure and poke and prod. What a nice alliteration. And behind that, you just expand with 1 MCV, and you don't really need a secondary MCV, right? There's nothing to be gained from that. Just all-out aggression. Gatekeeper style. Oh no, the pushes were really good. Fazzar just disrupted the... yeah, GG. Fazzar just disrupted everything there. The DPS coming out was diminished. As a result, clean victory, clean sweep for Fazzar thus far. His track record in RNGL as of now is amazing. We're gonna go into game 2 against Sigil. Let's see whether he can find it in his heart to push back against that.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And in game number 2, we're in Duskwood. Let's zoom out a little and admire the view. This is the map where you have a close oil lyric and you've got the mandatory FCOM. So, we've talked about this in the Mint games already. The mandatory FCOM. You need to take this early on, and you need to also establish it, saturate the mines, because this is a gem mine. If your opponent takes this, and you don't, you're gonna be at a large income discrepancy. Or disparity, that's the right word here. Because we've seen it with Mint. He did not take his FCOM early on, and even without a shot being fired, he was behind 3k before the actual engagement even started. So, yeah, just always saturate your economy. The IRL economy crisis is coming soon enough. No aggression onto the enemy FCOMs from any of the players. Let's see if Sigil is a little wiser to that. So you see how much Fazzar is prioritizing that. He built an engineer first. And he was so secure in his approach that his opponent would not go for his FCOM because it would take the opponent would be taking his own FCOM, just operating under the assumption, mutually a mutual ceasefire basically. I know that you're going to be taking your FCOM, so I'm going to be taking my FCOM as well, and I do not need to go for a rifle infantry early on. It's that important that I just get it as soon as possible. Sigil only now, not produce. Oh yeah, that's the NG. Risky, because if you get that grenade rushed, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. You basically lost the game then and there. Let's zoom in on the nice little asset, the windmill. Still kind of conflicted about the color scheme with regards to the trees, because they look a bit unhealthy. This looks a bit radioactive to me. But yeah. So let's see. FCOM already established, refinery established, so that seems to be the go-to MO for Fazzar, who's now again playing Brits, so seems to be a Soviet player, an Allied player more. I've seen him play Allies at least a bit more than I've seen him play Soviets. Okay. Oh, he's sending a firing squad here to intercept, to welcome the NG of Sigil. Yeah. Could pose a problem. Again, Sigil is like 10 seconds behind on his War Factory timing, and that is just 8 PM. He didn't build anything else. He built a second power... Oh, never mind. He built a second power plant. That's not necessary. Whoa! What an aggressive War Factory. I'm not sure if that's the right call. So, you only need one harvester to saturate this mine, right? If you pop down the refinery here. You need to rally all your other harvesters down south. This is a really bad call, I feel, because you lose valuable mining time from sending every single harvester down to your original patch. Right now it's just being harvested by 2 harvesters. He's also built a mobile flag, which isn't doing anything right now. In RTS it's seconds that count. I know it always sounds so small, and so basically without consequence, but it isn't. That's a little ripple effect. This little ripple turns into a giant torrent eventually. Sigil going for the oil lyric. Hopefully he can grab it just in time. The ranger is there to respond though, if Fazzar decides to. So yeah, take a look at the economy situation here. There's already going to be some plateauing going on for Sigil. It's not visible yet, but in 1 or 2 minutes it's definitely gonna show itself. Alright. Off goes the mobile flag, just taking a little casual poke into the base. Is that a push? Is that an early push? Interesting but risky, because from the way I've seen Fazzar play, he generally loves playing defensive early on. So his early game is very defensive, and then goes on the aggression. Okay, going for a power snipe. Oh, the pillbox is not yet ready. If this ore refinery goes down, that is a good call. That is a really good snipe. Only loses the flak truck for it. That was a very, very smart snipe. Sigil reckoning that Fazzar didn't have much to defend at home just yet. I mean, he was sort of mistaken, but then again Fazzar didn't pull the trigger. I think he was not sure whether that would be an all-in. This could have been a triple refinery all-in with lots of infantry. It wasn't, but it could have been. In another timeline. So I really like this from Sigil. Trying to play catch-up. Yeah, now you're seeing the issue, right? Oh no, long-distance mining as well. Oh, this is just horrible. He moved out his MCV to the left-hand side. Okay, this build is all kinds of wonky. This is the... What a janky build. This is gonna take so much time to really get the economy rolling, that I feel he's gonna get overrun by Fazzar in no time flat. But he's got enough economy right now to at least build APCs and lots of infantry. So, oh, the engineer from Fazzar has indeed taken a power plant. Where's he going? What's he going for now? Don't send your entire army. Yeah, thank you. He sold off a refinery and that's good enough. The power plant is going to be really annoying. They're a real thorn in Sigil's side because it provides vision. Look at that. It's got such a nice line of sight established here. Ouch, a rocket scout. That's like having 3 free rifle scouts sitting around. Don't do that, my friend. Okay, defensible position for Sigil. He's gonna win this engagement handily. The only question is he gonna lose Harvester? Yes. Yes. Is he gonna lose a second Harvester? Absolutely. Oh, terrible call. This was... No, not a third Harvester. Oh, that's painful. You never want to trade economy for army. Never. That's how you lose the game. He's up to 4 Harvester. My lord. This is now unharvested. What an action. There's no other word. What a shit show. This is just going from bad to worse. Sigil has completely and royally messed up his economy. Fazzar recognizes that and is already building a radar dome. He's building a second war factory now. I don't know. He's on 4 harvesters, nothing else. He's got nothing going for him. 5th harvester finally back online. Down to 4 harvesters. The reaction time, I've got to say. Oh, 3 harvesters, no! Not like this! That was just complete obliviousness. Oh, no, that's just a power down bug. He's trying to go for a counter push. I don't think he can accomplish all that much here. I understand that Sigil was trying to go for army mass and overwhelm Fazzar. The massive issue was that he didn't set up his economy properly. He completely messed it up. And that was not Fazzar's doing, that was his... He undid himself. Sigil completely undid himself there. Yeah, this is so well defended. No way. No breach is happening here, sir. Main economy lines dismantled. Man, that was just mistake after mistake. Sigil, you're usually, I know him as a very solid and also a consistent player. But this was the definition of inconsistent wildcard play. Just completely randomly throwing shit at the wall. The good old kitchen sink approach. Well, this kitchen sink is gonna come tumbling down in just a second. More like a house of cards. He's repositioning with the APCs. You see, it's so hard to defend on multiple fronts once the opponent has gotten his army into position. This is just, painful. Triple prong. This is a Bane, basically a Bane push. Triple prong here, and he hasn't lost any economy yet, but he's so behind anyway. What's he on? 2 harvesters? Yeah. 2 harvesters. Down goes the F-con. Down goes everything. Down goes everything that was meant to be a line of production. Second Conyard. He actually got a Conyard up. That's interesting. After being this far behind, I would never go for a Conyard. I would just try and live off 1 Conyard. Living off the land. Artillery is starting to come in. And Fazzar has been really good about this. His tech transitions have been really good timing-wise. He only ever built the tech when he was ahead. And then it was just to seal, basically put nails in the coffin. He never randomly rushed tech to find himself behind in the army. Good RTS players recognizing when to tech up, when to stay on tier 1.5. Man, 3 harvesters. 4. I can fit the entire base of Sigil on 1 screen, even when zooming in. Not quite. Let's leave it at this zoom level. That is a very futile attempt here. This defense that is being mounted ain't gonna happen. Sigil, you know what's gonna descend down upon you in just a minute. He is delaying the inevitable. Nice concave yet again. And the first shot, not a kill shot, but pushes the infantry. Good hustle. Very smartly played. Flak trucks have been forced out here due to the presence of the Black Hawks, which is something that we talked about earlier. Flame towers are going down without even firing a single flame ball. Good old balls of barbecue. Off goes the MCV. Exiting the stage to the right hand side. GG, yeah. Yep. Sigil, my friend, you're usually more consistent than this. You played yourself. You drafted an interesting little strategy, and the first card you drafted was the Fool card. And you basically just set up your economy all wrong. The War Factory positioning here, I'm not sure if that was even intentional, or if it was just, maybe you thought it was a power plant and tried popping it down here. Because even just the path that the harvesters took was terrible. And then they did long distance mining because he didn't reassign them to the other refinery. And then he moved his original Conyard out, disrupting his production queue, delaying his third refinery. It just went from bad to worse. Yeah, Tech Center was ready for Fazzar as well. We're gonna take a look at the earnings. It was okay until minute 5. And then he started dipping hard. Yeah, not the best here, not the best. Interesting match. Game 1 was a bit more tight than this. Yeah, we are gonna continue observing Fazzar with great interest. Next week, some more Fazzar, and then something different to loosen up the mood a little bit. Get a little less competitive and more fun. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. More content to come. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.